The OEX Phoxx 3, well, it's now out. It's been out a few weeks and it's available in Go Outdoors with the discounts available for under £100. Now, the Phoxx 2 is undoubtedly probably the biggest selling tent of 2024, and value for money has to really rate up there. And with the amount that I've used the Phoxx 2, it only made sense to get the Phoxx 3. And I've come today to a beautiful cliff-top camping location at Spider's Castle Farm in Kent with the sea behind me to give the OEX Phoxx 3 its first test. Now, this looks to be an absolutely beautiful location. I feel very privileged to be able to be down here at Spider's Castle Farm and try out the OEX Phoxx 3. So, if this tent is as good as I think it is, it weighs a tiny bit more. And I believe that if you pack this tent up properly like the Phoxx 2, it won't take up that much more room. So let's get it out the bag and have an initial look at it. In fact, let's get it out the bag and then put it away properly before setting it up. So this is how you're going to pick up your Phoxx 3 from Go Outdoors or whatever retailer are stocking it. And as you can see, it pretty much takes up the entire bag that comes with it. But as we all know, this is not how you're going to or should do carry or pack away your tent. Let's get it out. Let's separate the poles and carry them separately as we would do. Re-roll the tent and see the size difference in the bag, if there is any. This is the first time I've done this. Here are our poles and here are our pegs. So the first thing I'd like to say then is this is pretty much how it's going to come from the shop. However, if you pack it away properly, pegs in and poles separately, take the air out, this is actually how small the new Phoxx 3 can pack away. Obviously, poles separately and stowed somewhere else in your rucksack or burden. So now that I've shown you exactly how small the Phoxx 3 can pack away like I thought it would, let's get her out, set her up on this nice bit of ground here with an absolutely stunning view and take a first look at the setup, which I imagine to be pretty much exactly the same as the Phoxx 2, but we'll go through that. And then the space inside, because the Phoxx 3, if you need that extra headroom and you need that extra space in your tent, but not a lot of extra weight or pack size, this could be the tent for you. First things first, because of the wind on this cliff, I think I'm actually going to pop a peg and stop myself losing the outer bag. So I'm going to set this up exactly as I would the Phoxx 2, because from what I've seen online, firstly, there are not many good reviews out at the minute, and secondly, that's just what I'm going to do. So already we can see that this footprint is massive compared to the Phoxx 2, and the pegs are the same ones that you get with the Phoxx 2, which, to be honest with you, are not bad, but they are a little bit heavy. So already we can save space on this Phoxx 3 by rolling it up the correct way, and we can save weight by just swapping out these pegs for some lightweight ones. Now I'm going to be completely honest, one of the pegs, but don't turn off there, don't be disheartened, this ground is ridiculous. I'm on a cliff top, I've got a little bit of dirt and then rock, so look, this would have happened with most pegs. Now, as with the Phoxx 2, you're going to get two poles. These poles are, let me just double check. Yeah, these are the same ones. These are the Endura poles by OEX. Lightweight, really strong. I've never had any problems with mine, but clearly the size difference is massive. And people are saying they have problems with these poles. So let's try popping them into the tent while it's staked down and see if we have any issues. Okay, so with the Phoxx, you've basically got your piece of cloth there with the pole insert here and a little buckle that's going to hold the fly. And that'll be exactly the same on the other side. Now on here, there are no adjustable straps. So with this, let's see if we struggle getting the pole in. So the outer is already attached to the inner, like the Phoxx 2 version 2. So yes, it's an inner first tent. However, in a pickle, you have got the outer attached. You could unfold that and limit the amount of rain hitting your tent if you were unfortunate enough to be setting up in the rain. So let's see how difficult these poles actually are. I'm going to insert the first one. She's in. And then pop round to this side. I'm doing it slightly cack-handed for the camera. However, okay, it wasn't the biggest struggle in the world, I'm going to be honest. Now the head end is exactly the same, and unlike the Phoxx 2 V2, doesn't have the adjustables here, which is why people might be saying it's slightly difficult to get the poles in. I'm going to give it a go. Feels like we're christening the tent. Okie dokie, so let's pop in if we can. Got to come out a bit further than usual. We're going to pop in one side like so. Let's bring out the tent and see how hard that is to get in. Wow, that's really difficult. My goodness. If I'm struggling, I'm going to unpeg this back end. Now let's see how I fare. I'm going to pop her in like that. Okay, she's in. So I'm not going to lie, because, well, I wouldn't. That wasn't the easiest. I thought, where people are wrong. People are not wrong. They're actually quite difficult to get in. Those poles are super tight to a point where I think some people may think they don't fit. After using this a couple of times, you're going to be good. But first time setup, yeah, some tight poles. So before we look at the space inside, let's get this fly pegged out and really see the OEX Phoxx 3 all set up. Now, in addition to the Phoxx 3, is these little mid pegs. I don't want to use it purely because I want a nice view. I'm not sure how the door will roll up. I'll try it later on, but for the minute, I'm going to leave these off like you would do the standard Phoxx and just tighten up those to get this fly tight. There we go. So that's all the pegs in. We are going to guy her out. We have to peg out this front one because, like the Phoxx 2, this is our ventilation. So the front air vent has guy lines which hold it open. This, same as the Phoxx 2, it's just got your little Velcro stand. First time opening her up. Let's have a little look at the Phoxx 3. Yep, okay. Velcro. Your vestibules are not that much bigger than the Phoxx 2, if I'm honest. Woo! These poxy tie-outs instead of pain in the backside. All right, the Phoxx 3. I can set up. Never done that before in an OEX tent. So as we can see straight down in the vestibules, there's not that much more room than the Phoxx 2 at all, to be honest with you. This is pretty evident. There is masses of room, more so than the Phoxx 2, like a silly amount. And the lengthwise, I mean, I'm 5'11". Feet are not touching that end, head not touching that end. I'm not on the inner. The inner is off the outer. And I can literally make OEX angels if I wanted. Now, having a look down the foot end, that looks to be a good third bigger than the Phoxx 2. And looking at the head end, it's absolutely ridiculous. With pockets lining that side and that side, could you fit 3 people in this? A tight squeeze, but 2, definitely. So let me go over what I think about the first impressions of setting up the Phoxx 3. Now, the vestibules are no bigger, and the poles, first time round, were genuinely really tight to put in. These annoying little tiebacks on the doors are still the same. Okay, so what is she like laden up with gear? I've got a little Osprey Rook today, loaded up with stuff for a one-nighter. I've got a bit of food, a few beers, I've got a Rarbacent 900, a 10cm thick mat, and also I've got a pad to lay out, and all my other bits and bobs. Let's load her up and then see what the space is like inside. So we're set up in the Phoxx 3, where I've got my wash bag, mozzie spray, knife, bits and bobs. a couple of Nalgene bottles with water, cook system down the bottom, a drone, a little light, a full sleep system with my pad, the kilos gear, 10 centimeter, extra large, inflatable, a floofy pillow, the rubber scent 900, and my pack down the bottom. I'm sure you'll agree, the amount of space is insane. Now that I'm all set up in the tent, I'm really happy. I've got a stunning view from this campsite overlooking what I believe is called the Kent Flats, which is like an offshore wind farm. It is absolutely stunning. And the amount of space I've got is ridiculous. Now, I don't believe that you should do a review without having used the tent. And granted, I haven't, but I'm going to stay in it tonight. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some dinner on the go. I'm going to get some food down me. Hopefully, I'm going to get some stunning views and stunning shots on camera from this campsite, spend the night in the tent, wake up in the morning. So let's get some dinner. Let's get some decent shots. And in the morning, let's talk about, is the OEX Phoxx 3 the better tent to buy than the OEX Phoxx 2? So it's the first time bedding down in the new OEX Phoxx 3. So far, I'm so impressed. Why would you get the Phoxx 2 version 2 now? This tent is great. The floor space in here, it reminds me as if I'm in my One Tigris Stella, a tent that has a lot of floor space. But this is a Phoxx. It shouldn't have a lot of floor space. I get it. They're pitching it as a 3-man tent. But look, it's not a 3-man tent. You're not getting 3 in here comfortably. 2, yes. What this reminds me of, if the OEX Phoxx 2 version 2 had a big brother, this tent could be it. Okay, good morning world. This has to rate as one of the most beautiful views I've had ever from a tent. These views down at Spider Castle Farm in Kent are something pretty special. So there we have it. We've spent our first night in the OEX Phoxx 3. But would I recommend it? And more importantly, would I recommend the OEX Phoxx 3 as an upgrade to somebody who's already got the Phoxx 2 or the Phoxx 1? I completely understand the weight because that will come up. And yes, it's not a backpacking or a trekking ultralight tent. It's not that, but it's not trying to be that. This is over 2 kilo, but 2 kilo for what you get, in my opinion, isn't bad at all. Does it have a few loose threads here and there? Yeah. And are the tie-outs on the doors perfect? Far from it. Did they get rid of that annoying little thing on the zip that controls where you put the zips? No, they didn't get rid of it. It is still there. But have I loved my first night in the Phoxx 3? Yeah, I have. It has been fantastic to have an OEX Phoxx tent as good as the Phoxx 2, but with that extra headroom and extra space and the incredible floor area. It's been amazing, and it's been under £100. Of course, I'd recommend the OEX Phoxx 3. Based on last night, I'm going to be spending a lot of hours in this tent. But the biggest problem I'm going to have now is, when am I going to take my Phoxx 2 out again? So thanks for watching this review on the OEX Phoxx 3 at this beautiful location in Spider Castle Farm. Now, it is my dream to be able to do this as much as possible: wild camping, camping, epic adventures and gear reviews. And if you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe and hitting that bell thing, of course, I'd massively appreciate it. I'm Andy. This is Beard in the Wild. Stay wild and leave no trace.